What's up everyone, it's day 6 of the Duos twist on Big Brother 24, which means it's day 6 of Duets Week on TV Talks with Tom. Now the Taylor bashing shows no end in sight for Nicole and Daniel, but let's cheer things up and do things Grease style. Jasmine's got beans and they're blindsiding. Ameerah's losing control. The leftovers now have power. Turn has taken a shower. Introducing my singing partner for the day, it's Tom. Nicole's gone mad, so has Daniel too. Kyle and Joseph rule the house. A pooch is gone, Michael's the veto king. Taylor's finally got a smile. It's overdue, it's just taking a while. There's a blind side, there is a blind side. Butter beans, baby, there's a blind side. There is a blind side. Butter beans, baby, there's a blind side. There is a blind side. Butter beans. Blind side, butter beans, tears, tantrums and chaos. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your live feed update. Alright, now right before we get started, if you haven't already and you want quick, concise and fun live feed updates on your YouTube feed, why wouldn't you? Hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button and the bell icon to get notified every single time a brand new upload goes live on the channel. Alright gang, I hope everybody enjoyed our little trip to Rydell High there. It's just a little bit of fun as always. Like I say, I don't take myself seriously when I do these singing videos. I know some people are like, Tom, shut up, you can't sing. And I'm like, I know I can't. Listen, right, I do it as a bit of fun and I hope you all enjoyed it. But anyway, just before we jump into today's live feed update, I just wanted to do a little announcement. Of course, you can skip past this, so just skip 20-30 seconds right now if you don't want to hear this. But I've got some exciting news. The channel now has memberships, which is something I discovered yesterday. So now you can join the channel as a member of TV Talks with Tom, and you can get perks. And there's different kind of tiers of all sorts of fun stuff. Check it out. There's a join button. It should be just down there, or you can head to the channel and there's a join button there, and you can check it out for different perks. Please join. I would appreciate any support that I can get off you guys. It would just mean the absolute world to me. But yeah, that's available now if you want to become a member of TV Talks with Tom. But let's jump into the live feed updates because wow, we've got a lot more fallout from the Great Blind Side of 2022. Nicole has shown to be the person who has spiraled the most. She has gone from the top of the house to, quite frankly, the bottom. I mean, maybe we could talk about Ameerah. Ameerah is somebody who, of course, is on the block and is going out tomorrow night, or most likely going out tomorrow night. But in regards to somebody who's in a brilliant position and didn't need to blow it, it was Nicole. And she's messed it up. And we got to talk about that because Daniel's obviously jumped on the bandwagon with Nicole as well. And it's the Taylor hate train is continuing from them. But luckily they aren't in power anymore, so they can't do as much damage in the game, which is absolutely wonderful news. But of course it's not good news, but we'll break it down. Alright, now let's talk about a potential showmance that's on the cards, and it's Taylor and Joseph. Do I think it's going to happen? I mean, maybe. I'm like 30% leaning towards saying yes and 70% saying no, so most likely not. But that's an interesting one to talk about for sure, because it's really nice to see Joseph finally sticking up for Taylor and actually seeing through the BS, and it's understandable. I'm starting to go, oh my god, I'm realising, why people, weren't necessarily speaking up, because mob mentality is such a huge thing in Big Brother. When you're in a pressure cooker of 16 people and less, if 90% of people are saying one thing, you're probably going to start to believe it because there's no external influences, right? Until the DR says, hey, maybe what you're hearing here is wrong, or maybe what you're saying here is going to be misconstrued. So I just think it's nice to see Joseph has seen through the BS and he actually wants to get to know Taylor. Now, I don't know if it's just on a friendly level, but I don't know, just the way he was asking questions, I want to get to know Taylor. I don't want to talk about the game. Let me, tell me about Taylor. Very flirty. That's kind of how it came across. Don't get me wrong, I would love that showmance. I mean, Taylor's fantastic, Joseph's fantastic. Yeah, I just think it's really awesome. I know I've discussed it a little bit on this channel, about the fact that I actually came out as bi about a couple months ago, and y'all obviously know Claire was my Big Brother crush last year. It's Joseph this year, so I think to see him and Taylor get together, who are just two really awesome people, would be cool AF. But yeah, I mean, there's potential there. I want to know what everybody else thinks. Do you think Joseph and Taylor could become a showmance, and would you want to see it? Alright, so now that we have the leftovers in power, the other side of the house is still yet to understand or figure out what's actually going on. It's funny because we see people, the nasty side of the house, turning on one another to the leftovers members. Which is amazing, because the leftovers people are getting so much intel right now, because you'll see, I don't know, you'll see Nicole sat with, I'm just saying hypothetically here, it could be like Ameerah And then it could be Kyle and Joseph that are sat there as well. And I don't know, let's throw another person in. Brittany or someone like that. 3 members of the leftovers and then 2 people outside. And then you've got Nicole and Ameerah going, don't trust anyone. This is, they've taken control and stuff like that. And then, you've got Kyle and Joseph and Brittany going, yeah. Again, just hypothetical. It could just be any of the 3 members of the leftovers. But the point is the leftovers are getting all the intel from the other side of the house because they haven't figured out which 7 are the leftovers and that there even is a 7. Which is absolutely amazing. I mean, I've seen people online saying it's some Dr. Will level stuff. And I saw Dr. Will actually, he replied to one of those tweets. He said something along the lines of, often duplicated, or not often imitated, but never duplicated. So Dr. Will even replied to something about the leftovers, which I just thought was cool as hell. But yeah, I mean, it's really, really awesome to see people actually playing Big Brother. I'm just so sick of modern day Big Brother. Often is a scenario in which, they're not actually playing the game. It's more kind of just, there's no strategy, if that makes sense. Or the strategy is incredibly basic in the fact of we win a comp, we put the outsiders up, we evict one of them. Veto doesn't influence the game, all that kind of stuff. But this week it has been old school. It really has, We've had some people put up, people schemed and tried to get Ameerah as the target. The veto was used. She was put up and blindsided. The house went into chaos. And still, there's going to be a blindside tomorrow night because the house still thinks Terrance is going home. Double blindside this week, folks. A veto ceremony blindside and an eviction night blindside. This is Big Brother. This is what we want to see. And I speak on behalf of all of us, I think, right now when we say this is perfection when it comes to Big Brother. Alright, moving on to the next part. And just before I do, I wanted to actually ask this at the end of the last clip there. I would like to know everybody's top 3 members of the leftovers, because I know like 99% of us are rooting for the leftovers, but I would like to know everybody's top 3 members from the leftovers. Now, I'll remind everybody, we've got Michael, we've got Brittany, we've got Taylor, Monty, Joseph, Turner, and Kyle. Who's your top 3 out of those? I'd love to know. But anyway, Daniel went to Taylor at one point in the day for probably one of the most insincere apologies I've ever seen in my entire life. I've seen worse, but this was one of the worst. This was Daniel basically coming up to Taylor, acting like he was apologising, but didn't actually apologise. Y'all will know what I mean if you saw it, but let me try and break it down. So he was saying, I understand what Turner said at the veto ceremony, because obviously Turner actually stood up for Taylor and said, the bullying's got to stop, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if he said those words exactly, but that was the essence of it. And Daniel's saying he understood it, but he never actually apologised. He said he didn't want to be a part of that and all that stuff. When he is a huge part of it, he's one of the biggest contributors to it. And then he was saying, obviously, the Taylor and Paloma stuff didn't help to Taylor's face. Taylor didn't even do anything to Paloma. Taylor was always nice. And Paloma always said nasty things about Taylor behind her back, then went to her face, gaslit her, and made out as if she was her friend, and has continued to do so since she's left the house as well. Daniel's something else. It's crazy. And Taylor even said at one point in the conversation, I think, about how Daniel's probably going to get... Well, Daniel realised that he was going to get crap when he got outside the house for actually blowing up at Taylor about the whole Paloma situation. And Taylor said, I'm still going to stick up for you outside the house. That shows what kind of a classy person Taylor is. And then later on, Daniel went to start bitching about Taylor again. You tell me who's the good person there. But we'll get onto that very, very shortly as Nicole got involved in that as well. Alright, okay, so the hate for Daniel and Nicole is skyrocketing, especially on social media, due to the way that they are conducting themselves and the things they are saying about Taylor. Now, this is something I didn't catch on the feeds, but I caught it on Twitter, and the thing I love about Twitter is the fact that, when you're not watching the live feeds 24/7, you can go off and then you can come back, and anything important that you missed, you can see on there. So I'm going to read the transcript from this, and there's a video that goes with it as well, but of course I can't show that right now, but I'll read the transcript of what Daniel and Nicole actually said. So Nicole says, I don't think we did anything wrong. I just hate hearing her talk to you in that way regarding Taylor and say you know how this is going to look. Daniel says, I would feel this way towards any race. Nicole says, the issue is not that she's a black woman. The issue is that she is a effing bully. Whoa. That is a serious thing to say, and also a lie. If Taylor is a bully, All Stars 2 was the best season of Big Brother ever. If you're not catching my drift, it's BS. I'm fascinated by Daniel and Nicole, how up and down they are. They're like a roller coaster. One moment they're apologising to Taylor or making Taylor apologise to them and gaslighting her. And then the next, they're talking about her behind her back, calling her a bully. I don't think I'm stupid in saying this, right, guys? Reassure me. But surely you've got to be deluded to say that Taylor, of all people in the house, is a bully. I'm it's not that I'm lost for words, it's more that I'm just blown away at the fact that that's an actual accusation that Nicole said. And also for Daniel to say, I'm going to read that line again, Daniel to say, I would feel this way towards any race. It's like he's justifying why it's okay to hate on Taylor. I don't like that. And I'm really not a big fan of Daniel and Nicole at all. They were, well, I would say Nicole was playing a good game until she blew up over the blind side. And I get it, it's good. It gave us good feeds at the fact she's blew up. But she could have saved face if she just kept her cool and tried to remain in some form of control like she was before. Daniel was screwed anyway, because Daniel's like a lapdog, in my opinion. He just follows whatever the person in power's saying and follows the leader. But Nicole has just spiraled. She's gone from towards the top of the house to the bottom. And I get it, she was on the wrong side of a blind side, but it's never over in Big Brother. You've always got to... I mean, Taylor's the parable of that. We thought she was going to be going week 1, and here we are. And she's going to be here at least until next Thursday. And I'm almost confident enough to say that I could put money on the fact that she's going to survive next week as well, since the tables have turned. It's just... I'm again blown away just by the behaviour and the things that Daniel and Nicole are saying. They are quickly becoming America's most hated players. But the beauty of this is the fact that the leftovers have discussed taking Daniel and Nicole out of the game next. And Nicole truly believes she is the swing vote as well this week. She's going around the house saying, I'm the swing vote. I'm actually the swing vote in this situation. And then I think she was crying a little bit, and I'm thinking the only thing she's going to be swinging is that door open next week. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Please let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, let me reiterate, like I did at the beginning of the video, channel memberships are now available. I spent last night designing some emojis and some loyalty badges for the channel. So if you join, you can get like I'm trying to remember exactly what I had. There was like a Donny badge, there was a Dr. Will, Danielle Reyes, Janelle and Kay. So just some really cool things that you can get if you join the channel and become a member of TV Talks with Tom. So check that out, folks. There's all sorts of different perks and different affordable tiers. So yeah, folks, I appreciate every single last one of you, and appreciate any support that I could get with that one. But guys, thank you so much. I hope everybody's staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. And remember to be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.